It hit me. I couldn't remember the last time Ma and I had had a conversation. All we'd been saying to each other was hi and bye. Our last real talk may have been 5 months ago when she signed me up for junior high school 80. The thought sent more tears streaming down my face, and I couldn't control it. Up until that moment, I told myself that I was handling her illness better than this. I prided myself on it, but avoidance allows you to believe you're making all kinds of strides when you're not. I thought I had dealt with my feelings of pain over my mother's AIDS, but the image of her lying helpless under Brick's rage brought it all back. Like an exposed nerve, I felt the reality of her sickness jabbing at me. AIDS just wasn't ever talked about in my family. Ma and Daddy didn't talk about it, not even Dr. Morales brought it up, and certainly Brick didn't talk about it. He watched Ma take her medication, could see her getting weaker, but he still made demands on her. Judging by the condom wrappers I found lying around, I'm sure that for as long as Ma could manage it, they were even having sex. No one was talking about her AIDS, even as it was eating away at her in front of us. Yet it was as tangible and present as the shaky foundation we stood on with Brick. Ma's rapid deterioration and her sickness, like the sickness of our collective denial, was real. 2 weeks before, I'd been sitting in the kitchen alone when Ma burst in, crying, trembling. She went straight for the top of the fridge without noticing me, reaching for her fat brown paper bag of medication. The eruptive entrance and her raw, obvious pain had frozen me still. I watched her struggle with the child-proof top. I didn't dare speak for fear of embarrassing her. When the bottle finally popped open, the pills spilled out over the table, landing with dozens of little clicks against the wood. With great difficulty, Ma plucked up 2, placed them on her tongue, and with one deep inhale, she paused her crying just long enough to swallow. In doing so, she caught sight of me. "Ma," was all I said, one perfectly useless syllable, and nothing more. You're too young for this," she told me, raising her hand even as it shook. "I'm so sorry. You're too young." I stared back blankly and just watched her go, the white pills still scattered across the dark tabletop. I'd never been too young for anything, not for the drugs, or for Ma's graphic stories of teen prostitution, but I was too young for this, for AIDS. I absolutely hated myself for proving her right, for doing so little to soothe my mother when she needed me most. I was there for everything else, but for when Ma was fighting AIDS, I had put a distance between us. Or had she taken a distance from me? Something happened to us, because after she left University Avenue, after the group home, and now that she was getting sicker, we just weren't close anymore. And now I had Sam, and my days were enlivened with cutting school, dreaming about the future with my friends, and a new vitality I'd never known before. What it boiled down to was, the more joy I experienced with my friends, the harder it was to come home to Ma and an apartment filled with her sickness. The harder it was to be near her dying. It was so much easier not to come home at all, to be with my group. "Selfish," I said out loud to myself, harshly wiping tears from my face.